Folks, Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein Files. A new Wall Street Journal exclusive confirms that Donald Trump was told by his Justice Department and FBI back in May that his name appeared numerous times in the Epstein Files, among many of the other names. Pam Bondi also told Donald Trump at the meeting that Justice decided not to release more Jeffrey Epstein documents because of the presence of potential CP and the need to protect victims, child pornography, and protect victims. This is a bombshell report, folks, and I want you to remember that when Donald Trump was asked back in July if he had ever been briefed that his name appeared in the Epstein Files, you'll hear and you'll see Donald Trump hesitate for a second, try to stall, and then he lies and says that no, they were never in there. And then this is when he starts to say this was one big hoax against me by the Democrats. And of course, now we know he said that because his name appears in the files numerous times. And that's why the DOJ is covering this up, folks. This is exploding right now. And I want to tell you more about what Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney is doing, and how Maxwell's attorneys position this. But first, here's what Donald Trump said back on July 15th, 2025. And at this time, he was briefed and told that his name was on the list. Watch him lie right here. Let's play this clip.
The Attorney General briefed you on the DOJ and FBI review, the findings of that review. The Attorney General briefed you on that.
What? On the
DOJ and FBI
on what?
review.
On what subject?
Epstein.
Okay.
On Epstein, of the review of the files. Attorney General Pam Bondi.
A very quick briefing.
Did she tell you, what did she tell you about the review? And specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
No. She's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen. And I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden, we went through years of that with the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through. We've gone through years of it, but she's handled it very well. And it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. Yeah.
On Texas, how many more seats do you want the Republicans to?
All right, let's take a look at this Wall Street Journal article, folks. It says when Justice Department officials reviewed what Attorney General Pam Bondi called truckloads of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein earlier this year, they discovered that Donald Trump's name appeared multiple times. According to senior administration officials, in May, Bondi and her deputy informed Donald Trump at a meeting in the White House that his name was in the Epstein files, the officials said. Many other high-profile figures were also named. Trump was told being mentioned in the records isn't a sign of wrongdoing, the Wall Street Journal points out. The official said it was a routine briefing that covered a number of topics and that Trump's appearance in the documents wasn't the sole focus. Okay. They told the president at the meeting that the files contained what officials felt was unverified hearsay about many people, including Donald Trump, who had socialized with Epstein in the past. Some of the officials said, one of the officials familiar with the documents said that they contain hundreds of names. The article goes on to say that the meeting set the stage for the high-profile review to come to an end. In other words, the cover-up. Bondi had said in February that the Epstein client list was sitting on her desk right now to review and that she had truckloads of documents. And now, of course, it's been confirmed why they are covering up releasing the truckload of documents. As we previously reported on the MeidasTouch Network, we believe there to be about 300 gigabytes of documents. And again, Donald Trump's names will appear on that multiple times. Now, Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer gave a statement to the Wall Street Journal. His name is David Oscar Marcus, and Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer confirmed that they are in touch now with Attorney General Pam Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. As I've said before, I believe, in my opinion, this is part of the cover-up. Go to Ghislaine Maxwell and try to silence her and then have her basically say, oh, there was nothing with Donald Trump in exchange for a pardon or a commutation. Ghislaine's lawyer says, quote, "We are grateful to President Trump for his commitment to uncovering the truth in this case. Maxwell has been seeking to have her conviction overturned, contending she did not receive a fair trial. That's the statement from Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer. Now, in addition, we know that the House Oversight Committee will be conducting a deposition of Ghislaine Maxwell. So after the House Oversight Chair, James Comer, subpoenaed Ghislaine Maxwell, her attorney, David Oscar Marcus, told CNN, quote, "As for the congressional subpoena, Miss Maxwell is taking this one step at a time. She looks forward to her meeting with the Department of Justice, and that discussion will help inform how she proceeds." As our editor-in-chief Ron Filipkowski writes, which means before she agrees to lie for Trump, she wants an agreement to a sentence reduction or a commutation. Maxwell has a lot of leverage on Trump all of a sudden, and she is going to use it to benefit herself. Folks, the cover-up here is spiraling out of control for the Trump regime before our very eyes. Now, the fact that we now know that Donald Trump's name is in these files multiple times confirmed in this Wall Street Journal report. By the way, hat tip to Wall Street Journal for fearlessly reporting on this after Donald Trump sued them for their prior report, right, about the 50th birthday letter that Donald Trump sent to Jeffrey Epstein in 2003, which the Wall Street Journal alleged says, our enigmas will never age. Our secrets will always stay secrets. And they said Donald Trump doodled a naked girl and signed his name in the pubic region. And Trump's like, I don't doodle. I don't use the word enigma. And then all these doodles and videos of him saying the word enigma multiple times came out. But all of this puts a new focus on Elon Musk's statement. Who was closer to Donald Trump than Elon Musk? When Elon Musk previously wrote, "Time to drop the really big bomb. At real Donald Trump is in the Epstein Files. This is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT." Elon Musk was correct. Or when Sean Hannity back in March said, there's going to be lots of names on the list, lots of names in the file. So if you hear names like Trump's, don't worry about it. You remember what Hannity said? Play this clip.
Today, the Attorney General Pam Bondi released phase 1 of the Epstein Files. That's transparency. There are a lot of names in there. And Epstein was obviously a star chaser who wanted to hang out with people that are famous, people with money. So let me be very clear at the start here. And I said this on my radio show today. People, because they're in the Rolodex, they're on the list, does not mean they did anything wrong. On this show, and we have done it over and over again, we don't rush to judgment. We believe in the presumption of innocence. And I am appealing to people not to rush to judgment. Even though these names are now public information, there are names that I'm certain were not involved or knowledgeable of this.
The older I get, the more I find myself wanting to be more intentional about the way I live, eat, and take care of my body. That's why I'm so happy I found Mosh. Mosh, which you may have heard about on Shark Tank, was founded by Maria Shriver and her son Patrick Schwarzenegger with a simple mission: to create a conversation about brain health through food, education, and research. Maria's father suffered from Alzheimer's, and since then, she and Patrick have dedicated themselves to finding ways to help other families dealing with this debilitating disease. Mosh joined forces with the world's top scientists and functional nutritionists to go beyond your average protein bar. With 8 delicious flavors, including a plant-based one in peanut butter and chocolate, each Mosh bar is made with ingredients that support brain health like ashwagandha, lion's mane, collagen, and omega-3s. And now Mosh bars come with a new look and new formulation featuring a game-changing brain-boosting ingredient that you won't find in any other bar. Mosh is now the first and only food brand boosted with Cognizant, a premium nootropic that supplies the brain with a patent form of citicoline. But here's the best part: to make you feel good, Mosh donates a portion of all proceeds from your order to fund gender-based brain health research through the Women's Alzheimer's Movement. Why gender-based? Because 2/3 of all Alzheimer's patients are women. Mosh is working closely to close the gap between women and men's health research. Personally, I love the taste of my Mosh bars. My favorite is the peanut butter crunch, which I have each morning before I head off to the gym. Now, if you want to find ways to give back to others and fuel your body and your brain, Mosh bars are the perfect choice for you. Head to moshlife.com/Meidas to save 20% off plus free shipping on the bestseller trial pack. That's 20% off plus free shipping on the bestsellers trial pack at moshlife.com/Meidas. Thank you, Mosh, for sponsoring this episode.
Or after Donald Trump was briefed that his name was all over the files. Where'd he go to? This is a hoax. The Democrats created it. Why? Because he knew there was going to be lots of allegations about him in the files and that his name was all over the files, as we predicted on the MeidasTouch Network. Here's what he said in the Oval Office. Do you remember this?
Yeah. Mr. President, I know you want to move past all this intrigue over the Epstein files, but I do want to ask you to clarify something you said this morning. You said this was all a hoax. Has your Attorney General told you this was a hoax? What evidence have you seen of that?
No, it's not the Attorney General. No, I know it's a hoax. It's started by Democrats. It's been run by the Democrats for 4 years. You had Christopher Wray and these characters and Comey before him. And it's a bad group. It started, actually, look at the Steele dossier that turned out to be a total hoax. The 51 agents, the intelligence, so-called intelligence agents, that was a hoax. It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats. And some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net. And so they try and do the Democrats' work. The Democrats are good for nothing other than these hoaxes. They're bad for policy. They're bad for picking candidates that can get elected. Like in New York, we have a communist running. He may get elected too, actually, but he'll destroy the city.
And I think this also sheds additional light when Donald Trump was asked by Fox about releasing the files. And he goes, yeah, there may be a bunch of phony stuff in the Epstein file. A bunch of phony stuff. He was setting it up back then. He knew he was going to be all over those files because who's more inextricably intertwined in Epstein's life than Donald Trump? Here, play this clip.
Hey, the FBI, all those institutions.
Yeah, you're right.
Some people think that one way to build trust is to declassify things that everyone's talking about. I know you talked earlier about it. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. So if you were president, would you declassify, you can answer yes or no to these. Yeah. Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least
do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others. Certainly about the way he died. It would be interesting to find out what happened there because that was a weird situation and the cameras didn't happen to be working, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I'd go a long way toward that one. The other stuff I would definitely do the January 6th because, beyond all of them. Because what happened, how about the Unselect Committee? They had meetings, they had all Democrats.
Now, finally, let me just share with you this video from Donald Trump's biographer, as well as Epstein's potential biographer, Michael Wolff. He ended up being Epstein's biographer. But watch how Michael Wolff talks about their relationship and what they would do together. I mean, I think Wolff is spot on. Play this clip.
I want to clarify something. A lot of people have taken exception in the linkage of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, saying, you don't mean that Donald Trump liked little girls. Let me just refocus this back to the time that we're talking about. Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were obsessed with models. This was one of the key focuses of their lives, as important as money. Models. How many models have you had? How many models do you know? How do you get models? And they went through an elaborate process. They invested in model agencies. They started model agencies. Donald Trump had beauty pageants. Jeffrey Epstein became involved with Victoria's Secret. That became actually the centerpiece of his personal and business life. Models. And I think that it is safe to say they did not ask models for their IDs. Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein emerged from the same world. To make a distinction between Jeffrey Epstein's girls and Donald Trump's girls is pure sophistry.
Well, there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Bombshell, Trump in the files right now. The cover-up continues. You heard from Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer right there. Wow, 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 wow. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA Union made.